What's up, Melanated family? Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. I am your host, Harrison. I'm happy to have everybody with me this good Saturday. How's everybody doing, man? So, look, today is a brand new show. I want to thank everybody that's been liking and sharing all the other shows, all the other videos. If this is your first time tuning into the show, what I do here is a couple things. We like to talk about black businesses. The health of our community depends on us. Supporting black people who are selling goods and services. We also talk about different news stories, different things going on in the melanated community. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative, but critical dialogue is necessary when dealing with a lot of these things, right? So we talk about news stories, things that are going on in the community. I give my breakdown, my little perspective on, how I think things should go and what I'm feeling about that particular topic. Also on the show, we have a topic every week. We have a particular topic pertaining to our country, pertaining to businesses, pertaining to our family. My platform, which if you don't know me, again, my name is Harrison. My main platform is Melanated Fathers of America. Melanated Fathers of America is an organization I started 3 or 4 years ago. We do a few things with the organization. We have a website piece of it where it's a media piece. We're on the website, melanatedfathers.com. You'll find news stories, some of the news stories I talk about here. You'll find a History Matters section where we talk about history and how things have played out with our people throughout history. There's like a book of the month on there. There's articles about parenting, right? So it's basically a hub for the melanated family. And my whole idea for my platform when it originated was based on my life, right? I'm a 40-year-old man with 5 kids, have 4 kids by the age of 23 years old. So I was looking at what information could I have benefited from being a man that age? What could I have learned to help me with knowledge of self, to help me with figuring out the best way to move forward with my family and creating the best structure for my kids, right? So that's my platform. Melanated Fathers of America is what I'm passionate about. This show is an offshoot of that, and a lot of the topics are geared around parenting, geared around what we do with our kids, what we do with the women we have kids with, how we view certain things, how we view the women that we have kids with, right? All this is important to me. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he was interviewing me, and I made it a point to bring that up, man, that all of us should talk about what we know, right? Like the news stories and the things that go on in our community. I'm passionate about melanated people, and I love my people. So I'm always speak about these things to give my perspective about these things. But my platform primarily is about parenting and about family and about really taking from my history and seeing how I've done things wrong and the things that I did do right, and trying to use all of this to bring it to the family so we can improve ourselves, right? So we can be better parents, better friends, better husband, wives, boyfriend, girlfriends, whatever the case may be, right? So today's topic is going to be surrounding the baby mama, baby daddy ideology, right? And I'm going to talk about why this is detrimental to our community, right? Not coming down on nobody in my community because I've been a victim or I've played a role in creating these type of things as well, but how we relate to each other, how we have kids, not all of us, but a lot of us, how we have kids, the state in which we decide to mate with people, some of that shit need to change. So today on the show, we're going to talk about that ideology and what's wrong with it and what we can do moving forward to kind of change that, right? So let's get it popping. First things first, as I always do on the show, first things first is the news stories. I'm sorry, take that back. First things first is the businesses. I like to talk about black business. Like I said before, the economy, our personal economy is extremely important to me. When we talk about racism, when we talk about white supremacy, when we talk about social injustices, all these things that happen to us, family, we need to realize that we play a part in this shit too. There are things we can do to circumvent some of the ways that we're treated in society. We make far too much money in this country not to be spending that money with each other, not to be putting that money back into our community, not to be putting that money into things that hold value, opposed to fucking shoes and clothes and all this shit that don't mean nothing once you buy it. You feel me? So let's talk about the black business. The first business of the day. First business of the day is a business called More Natural Products. This is my sister Toy, who created this line, right? And again, especially all of us who are getting older in age, it's important that we figure out, because you could be a vegan, you can do a keto diet, you can figure out some type of diet that works for you, fine. But all of us need to figure out something, right? We can agree that being healthier, try not to be fat, trying to watch your weight. We all care about this shit. So let's keep it real. Don't act like you don't care how you look because you didn't got too far away with your weight or whatever. That's some bullshit. All of us care about how we look. All of us understand that, not just from a physical looking perspective, but the health of someone who may be a little bigger or may have a really unhealthy diet, right? So More Natural Products has attacked this in a great manner, in my opinion, right? So with More Natural Products, it's a one-of-a-kind, home-based health and wellness delivery service, right? Here in the Sacramento area. I'm here in Sacramento, California. Currently, like I said, typically I like to talk about businesses that are nationwide, and you can kind of get the services of the products everywhere. But this is a sister of mine. She's doing her thing. She's being real successful. Pretty soon here, she'll be able to ship your products anywhere in the country. Right now, it's just Sacramento. So if you're someone who listening to this show right now and you're not in my local area, don't worry about it. Pretty soon, my sister's going to be able to ship these products to you. But what she offers is salads. She offers smoothies. She offers sea moss. She offers different herbs for healing. Now, I was mentioning to her that I was going to talk about her stuff on the show, talk about her products on the show. And she said, you know what, Harrison, how about you try some stuff out first before you actually talk about it? I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. She gave me a salad. The salad was bomb because I'm trying to be more healthier, like I'm talking to y'all about. So recently I've decided for lunch, I'll eat a salad. For dinner, I kind of go a little bit left, you know what I mean, and eat whatever the fuck I want. But for lunch, I try to eat a salad, be as healthy as possible. So the salad was delivered to me. Something that I thought was real cool as well. I was right in my office. She delivered it right to my office, like a Uber or, you know what I mean, DoorDash or some shit like that, right? So she delivered it right to my office. The salad and the presentation of the salad was perfect. Everything was perfect. You know what I mean? I put my $1,000 on it the way I do and got to work on that thing. You know what I mean? So the salad was great. It was fresh. All the products were fresh. On this video, I'm gonna post a picture of a lot of the products that she sells that you'll be able to see under this video. She gave me some black soap. I'm yet to use the black soap. I will pretty soon here. But she also gave me some body wash, some hair and body wash that worked well. You know what I mean? I used it while I was in the shower just to kind of give it a run to see if it's something that I would actually use myself, and I loved it. You see what I'm saying? So here we have a sister from our community deciding to do something positive with her time. Like I said, family, if somebody in our community decides that they just want to work for a living, they just want to work for somebody and choose to live their life that way, I don't have a problem with that per se, but I'm inspired by people who step outside of the box, who decide, you know what, I'm going to create a niche in this society for myself, because we only got one life to live, y'all. So none of us should be walking around with regrets. If there's something you want to start, if there's a business you want to get popping, if there's an idea that you have, is there a business partner you want to work with, nothing sounds too stupid. Get that shit going, man. Get that shit going now. Y'all see with the corona, with the police violence, with just how America works in general, you never know how much time you got here. You never know if this could be your last day, your last week on earth. So don't live with regrets, family. If there's a business you want to start, if there's an organization you want to start or be a part of, start that shit today. So I appreciate the fact that the sister put her best foot forward to present. And from what she told me, they popping a little bit. You feel me? They out here busting moves. And again, this is better than seeing my people struggling, or better than seeing my people decide to go on the other side of the law to get their bread. You know what I mean? So whenever I see somebody doing positive shit, doing legitimate, well-ran business, I respect that. So if you want some of the products, again, it's More Natural Products, the best salads, smoothies, sea moss, herbs for healing. You can find her on Instagram at More Natural Products. You can find her on Facebook at More Natural Products LLC. Support the sister. Get you a salad, because the thing is, right, the salad, the herbs for healing, like the black soap that I got, the body wash, the body and hair wash, these are things that we buy anyway. This is what I'm trying to get the family to realize. If you can find somebody that sells the products and the services that you buy anyway, come on now, man. Come on now, man. If this is something that you buying anyway, we need to look to see if somebody that looks like you is selling it. Like I was saying last week, man, if we looking at everything going on in this country and you a melanated person and you want to do something about it, there are several different ways that you can fight injustices. One of them, believe it or not, is just supporting your damn people. You got somebody that's selling something, buy that shit. Talk highly of them. Like I was saying last week, if you don't like the product, if they get you the product late, if the product ain't what you thought it was going to be, don't go on the internet and start bashing them. Don't go on the internet and start talking shit about, this is why I don't mess with black business in the first place, y'all. No. Don't do that. Because when Walmart fuck up on your order, when you go get some food and they fuck up, you go back there. We don't just write these other companies off that do us dirty. Most of us don't. You see what I'm saying? So give your family the same leeway you would give some of these other fucking companies. You feel me? So go to More Natural Products LLC on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, go to More Natural Products on Instagram. If you're in the Sacramento area, tell her your order. Tell her what you want. It's not that expensive. You feel me? Tell her what you want. She'll be able to get it delivered to you, which is a really big thing. The fact that she has already set up enough infrastructure to have people delivering shit for, that's business right there. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean? So go to the social media site, go to Facebook, check her out, get some of the products, and tell her what you think. After you buy these things from our people, it's important that you give her constructive criticism. If you didn't like something wasn't too cool with you, let her know on the low though. You ain't got to blast her off just to get your goddamn point across. Let her know what you don't like. Let her know what she can improve upon. But if you do like it, make sure you share it with your friends. Tell your friends about it. You got a friend that say, man, I wish I had a salad. I don't got time to leave work, right? She can deliver it to you. You see what I'm saying? So let's use our community, family. It's 40 million of us in this country. There's no reason that we shouldn't have more businesses. There's no reason that we shouldn't have more infrastructure. You feel me? I understand the systematic endeavors that have taken place against us, that have harmed us in certain ways. I understand that. But at the end of the day, we all we got, family. You feel me? So go to More Natural Products LLC on Facebook, More Natural Products on Instagram. Shoot her a DM. Let her know what you want. She'll deliver it right to your spot. Now, for the next business. All right, so for the next business, this brother whose name is Blessed by Benny. Benny does flyers, logos, business cards, much more. I think he has like a recording studio where you can get studio time if you need to. But this is a real positive brother who has actually done my logos. Like a lot of the logos that I have, the logo that I have for Melanated Fathers of America that I just redid, he did that. The logo that I did for the Melanated Convo podcast for this show, he did that. My son needed a logo and some designs, he did that. So this is a real good brother out of the Bay Area who presents quality work in a timely fashion. He's extremely professional. The brother's name is Blessed by Benny. And when speaking about why he started this business, he says that he's basically looking to be a blessing to everyone, helping even the playing field by offering professional quality designs at very affordable rates. His goal when starting this company was to help eliminate all excuses for people not being able to start a business and to also show people through flyers and logos what their dreams look like when they are manifested, right? So if you're interested, if you need a new flyer done, if you need a new logo done, I think most of the designs that he's done for me, I think it's like $35 right now. So that's not a lot of money at all, right? That's not a lot of money at all. All of us can afford that. So if you are a recording artist that needs flyers or album cover, if you are a new business owner, if you're looking for designs to put on a shirt, all of these different things my brother Benny can help you out with. And if you want to get in touch with him, you can go to blessedbybenny@gmail.com. You can shoot him an email. If you go to Blessed by Benny on Instagram, Blessed by Benny. Benny is spelled B-E-N-N-Y. B-E-N-N-Y. So if you go to Instagram, you can find him there. Hit him on a DM. He'll be able to start the process of whatever you're looking at doing. If you don't want to do it that way, you can hit him on email. Like I said, it's blessedbybenny@gmail.com. He's a graphic designer. Flyers, logos, business cards, much more. My boy been doing it for a couple years now. He's been able to get make a legitimate business out of it where he has a continuous income from his works and his services. I think the brother's like a teacher in the Bay Area as well. So positive black man, positive melanated man doing the right thing. You feel me? So that's my whole point of talking about these businesses. Yes, I want all you guys to find it in your hearts to support these people, right? Go to their website, go to their Instagram page, do whatever you can to communicate with them if these are products and services that you're looking for. But also, these are people that I find inspirational. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, you only get one life to live, man. If you want to live your whole life just working for somebody, or if you want to live your whole life not taking advantage of your creative genius, whatever that may be, like working for somebody is cool. But if you can find a way to do something for yourself, that's the whole point of it, family. Do something for yourself based on your creativity. Use your mind to come up with something that can be beneficial to not just you, but the people around you. That's what the world is about, family. We all should be leaving something here for other people. Like leaving, if it's inspiration, leaving the work that you've put in. You see what I'm saying? So it's really important that we support each other, but it's also important that we realize whatever our dream may be, whatever our aspirations may be, right? Just looking at some of these people, it's inspiring to see people continually moving forward, to see them continually moving towards their dream or their goals, whatever that may be, right? So support the brother Benny, man. His Blessed by Benny is the name of his company. Graphic designer, flyers, logos, business cards, everything that you need. If you're interested in trying out some of the brother's services, go to send him an email, blessedbybenny@gmail. Tell him what you need. If you prefer to hit him on Instagram, I guess you can go on Instagram too, Blessed by Benny. Send him a DM. Let him know what you need. Let him know what you need. He'll get it taken care of for you as soon as possible. You know what I mean? Every time that I've needed a logo or design, he get back to me within a day or two. Like, it's real quick. He's communicating what style you want. He made me an extra logo one time where he let me keep both of them. You see what I'm saying? So a real good-hearted dude. To me, he seems real genuine. So everybody out there, if you need a logo, if you need a flyer, don't hesitate to contact my boy Blessed by Benny. He gonna hook you up. All right, now, let's talk about the news stories, family. Let's get it going, man. It's Saturday. I'm feeling good. God damn it, let's go. You know what I mean? First news story. All right, first news story. Now, there's a professor. I'm sure some of you have heard about the story already, but this shit just tripped me out, right? So there's a professor at George Washington University. Her name is Jessica Krug, K-R-U-G, associate professor at George Washington University. So for the whole time this lady has been at this university, she's teaching African studies. She's teaching about African American history. She's digging deep into the different tribes in Africa. Like, this is the coursework that she's teaching her kids, right? Throughout her time at this college, she's been able to write for Essence. She's been writing for Essence and other African American or black. I hate using those terms, but for conversation's sake, I may use those terms from time to time. She's writing for Essence. She's writing for other melanated magazines, right? About our history, about the struggles we've been through, right? So all of this seems fair and all of this seems cool up until now, right? But here's the goddamn problem. She's a white lady, right? She comes out and writes a letter to everybody, letting everybody know that she's been perpetrating this whole time, right? This kind of reminds us of the Rachel Dolezal lady who kind of did the same thing, where she was acting like she was black in society. She was a head of like an NAACP somewhere in the United States, right? And this lady was an associate professor at George Washington University, and how I see it, because to me it's just perpetrating to be us. Like, a part of me says, I know how great we are, so I know why people want to infiltrate our or be more like us, infiltrate our culture to a degree. But if you look at history, these type of individuals have been horrible for us. Not just white people, though. Just anybody coming among us being a wolves in sheep's clothing is detrimental to our culture. And we need to be extremely cautious of who we let into our circles, family. Like this, when I first read the story, I was kind of laughing about it. But then I'm like, wait a minute, man. What kind of influence has this lady had on some of our kids? What kind of and the kids? Some of the students have spoken out, and they speaking out, talking about. She says nigga when there's a book or something they're reading, and nigga comes up. She says nigga. She speaks to the fact that their ancestors, her Puerto Rican ancestors or her African ancestors, like, she's completely fucking delusional, right? Not to mention that she wrote a book back in 2018 about African spiritual systems and about Egyptology, which is bullshit, but she's writing about all of these African-centered things to affect our people. And the thing about it, she could have been white and just did that shit. She could have said she was white. She could have said she was white and did it. She didn't have to act black. There's Jane Elliott's. There's different white people in our culture who speak truth to power, but under the auspice of who they really fucking are. You see what I'm saying? So she's spending all this time acting black. This is, for her and Rachel Dolezal, something may be wrong up here a little bit. You know what I mean? They may be a little crazy a little bit. But ultimately, I look at my people. Like, I look at, to me, I even look at, on a smaller scale, Dylan Roof being able to walk into our church. Right? Like, we African people are so forgiving and so welcoming, right? But family, America is full of treacherous motherfuckers. So we got to get to a point where we know how to safeguard our community to a degree. Because the good thing is, this lady, from my account of it, she's just teaching kids African studies. She's doing it under the wrong banner, like she's lying to them by saying who she is. But at the end of the day, she's just teaching African studies. She's just teaching our culture. She says that she was influenced by our culture since she was little, blah, 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 all this old shit. But she's coming off as a liar and dishonest, and there's something to that needs to be addressed. But at the end of the day, it's not doing a lot of harm in what she was doing per se, but it could have been, right? What if she came among us saying she black and was doing harm to our community? Like, we need to figure out a way to not be so open. We allow everybody in. We allow everybody to come in and appropriate our shit, right? This is on multiple levels. We have, like, white rappers and some white entertainers. Like, everybody feel they can kind of come to some black shit when they need to get away from who they are, or when they need to figure out a way to be more popular, or figure out a way to get their groove back, or whatever the fuck the case may be, right? If we look at certain rappers, like a white rapper, like a Post Malone, I'm just throwing his name out there, but a person that comes among us and learns how we operate, use hip-hop or use our culture to further their standing. Mark Wahlberg, same thing, right? You come into hip-hop just to use it as a stepping stone to get to where you want to go. Think about that. You know what I mean? We don't go into fucking country music just to become an R&B star, right? We don't start rapping country shit just to eventually come over to some black shit. See, we can't do that. Other races of people can come over with us and slum with us, nigger it up with us, right? And then when they're ready to go back to whiteness, they can just go back to being fucking white. We ain't got that option, family. We can't go back to being shit. We are what we are. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we need to safeguard all of our industries. Everything that we're building, everything that we're primarily a part of, if we're not careful, like they've always done, if we're not careful, somebody white finna come in and take the shit. Somebody white finna come in and infiltrate, learn your structure, learn your systems, and use that shit for something that's gonna benefit them. You see what I'm saying? So what she was doing, unless she was teaching the kids the wrong thing, or teaching children negative things about us, or putting a negative spin on our history, I would be more critical of her. To me, she just may have a mental issue. Like, she got some mental shit she going through. She don't know who she is personality-wise. That's some mental shit. You see what I'm saying? But all in all, we allowed her in our community. We allowed her amongst us. You see what I'm saying? Now, the school is researching this and deciding if they're going to fire her or how they're going to handle it. I'm sure that has to be difficult on how you want to proceed with her, right? But for damn sure, she can't keep teaching what she's been teaching because of how she approached the situation. Essence, she was writing an article for Essence. Essence said they take the article out of their goddamn shit. You know what I mean? They gonna take the article down, rightfully so. Because again, you could have been white writing about black liberation. You could have been white writing about our ancestors and giving your take on shit, as long as it was real, as long as it was based on truth. You see what I'm saying? But she needs some mental help. The book she wrote in 2018 about all of our struggle, that needs to be taken off the shelf, I think. She needs to come again and write some shit based on her real perspective. But at this point, it's going to be real difficult to trust her. So she kind of put herself in a horrible position. But at the end of the day, I'm like, we can look at people outside of our community and how they treat us and the things that they do. But I'm beginning to realize, family, not only we all we got, but we got to start policing each other too. We got to start coming at each other and saying, okay, this can't happen. Somebody just coming amongst us, acting black, and and look at her picture, she kind of looks white. She don't really look, and I ain't seen her up close, of course, but she don't really look mixed with nothing. You see what I'm saying? So why aren't the black and then she's changing. The students came out and said she's changing where she come from. 1 minute she's from Puerto Rico, 1 minute she's from a different island, 1 minute her grandparents are from here, 1 minute her grandparents are from there. So she's just full of shit. You know what I mean? And we're not taking it serious enough to say, wait a minute, let's do our due diligence to find out this woman's real background before she pollute our children's minds. Because the students were talking and none of them mentioned that she gave misinformation or that she was disempowering them or using her skin color to be a damn coon. She wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? We already got enough coon-ass niggas out here as it is, but we just need to be on alert for people who come around us who mean us no good. You see what I'm saying? And this is a smaller example of that, but this happens all the time. All the industries that we found, most of the shit that's primarily black, it gets infiltrated by people outside of our community. Now we're beholden to them all of a sudden when it's some shit that we started. You see what I'm saying? But we need to realize how envious other races of people are of our culture, family. People want to be black when it's convenient. You know what I mean? I bet if her ass would have got pulled over, I bet if her ass would have found herself in a negative situation with law enforcement, she would have been quick to talk about her Irish roots or her being a white woman. You see what I'm saying? So everybody want to be a nigga until they don't want to be a nigga no more. You see what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a nigga, want to be black until some shit pop off. Then you don't want to be involved in the culture like that. You see what I'm saying? That be my problem with a lot of white people sometimes, because certain people in our society take full advantage of our culture. Whether it be with our music, whether it be with how we dress, whether it be with our sports, right? You will watch, a white man will watch a black man on TV and you got his jersey on, but you hate niggas. You got his jersey on, but if a black man like him pulled up at your house with a hood on, wanting some water or knocking at the door, you gonna get your goddamn gun and call the police. You see what I'm saying? It's that cognitive dissonance that got them separating the two. See, they do a great job of compartmentalizing what they like about black folks. So they can like the fact that you sing and you hoop, but they hate your black ass. You see what I'm saying? So this is just a moment for us to be aware, family. We need to be aware of who amongst us is doing what to us, so we can stop being so goddamn forgiving. You feel me? So I don't know what's going to happen to that teacher. Whether or not, I was thinking to myself, I wanted to get fired and all that. Whether or not she get fired, I don't give a shit. She wasn't polluting our children's minds. She got an identity crisis. She got an identity crisis she needs to deal with. But it's in the day, it's on us on allowing who we're going to allow in our community. It's on us, these colleges, allowing somebody that's presenting themselves under the auspice of black or African American or whatever the fuck, and you're not checking their background. You're not peeping by looking at her, seeing how she move, right? We are way too forgiving, way too allowing of shit like this to happen. So that got to come to an end, family. You feel me? All right. Next news story. So, in Arkansas, right? A Arkansas Delta sheriff named Todd Wright he just resigned, right? So this is what happened. He's in the supermarket. He's in the Piggly Wiggly with a black woman. And the black woman is looking at black men inside of the Piggly Wiggly. Now, it's important to note, in reading the story at first, I didn't really expect this, but the black woman is his baby mama, right? This is a woman he has kids with, right? So she records him in the store. He said nigga about 9 times in the store, referring to a black dude who was in the store that she was talking to, called him a dreadhead nigga, kept referencing her, saying, why you embarrassing me in front of these niggas? You see what I'm saying? So he's completely comfortable with using the word nigga in that context, right? But here's my biggest problem with the story. So a white man has to resign because he gets recorded inside of a Piggly Wiggly. His girlfriend records the conversation of him talking about her being a nigga, saying that she don't want her with this dreadhead nigga, why she always got to talk to niggas in front of him. You see what I'm saying? So for one, this is something that he didn't just start saying, right? So obviously he's been speaking to her this way for a while now. This ain't some new shit, right? But the bigger issue, again, we be having these dealings with these white motherfuckers. We be having these dealings with sometimes these white supremacists, right? And there's a way that they need to conduct themselves, but I'm not talking about them. I'm not worried about them. I can't control what they do. But my sisters, right? My black queens, right? My melanated queens, right? We need to get this shit understood. You need to love your race first. All of us out there, everybody hearing the sound of my voice, you need to learn your race. You need to love your race. That's why I'm such a big proponent of learning where we come from and getting some pride in who we are, right? This shit is necessary, y'all. It's no fucking way you should be allowing this man to call you nigga and use this kind of language around you, and you have a baby with him. So what are we doing, y'all? Like, I have nothing against interracial relationships. If you want to be with someone outside of the black race, I only have one requirement from you, sister, brother. Don't lose your allegiance to our race. See, white folks got it. They got it down pat. They'll fuck the shit out of you, wake up in the morning and still be a white supremacist. They not going to lose sight of who they are and where they come from because they having sex with you. They're not going to do that. They just not going to do that. So this is sad to me. In 2020, excuse me, in 2020, we got sisters still feeling this low of themselves that you will fuck with a white supremacist like this. And I'm sure that wasn't the first day that he was coming at us like that. You think that was the first day she heard him call a black man a nigga, right? So what are we doing? Are we that hard up for love? Are we that hard up for relationship? You can't find a black man that's gonna love you, that's gonna take care of you, that's gonna be there for you? That's bullshit, man. This breaks my heart because this baby, it didn't mention if she had a daughter or a son or what their age were or anything like that. But the baby that's involved, you got a daddy that's a white supremacist. You got a father who don't even like you. You see what I'm saying? So poor child. What is this child gonna grow up thinking? What is this child gonna grow up feeling? Seeing by how the news story played out, the kid may end up being a goddamn goon. Because your mama ain't got a backbone, and your daddy hate niggas, so he's probably gonna infuse that ideology in how you think. You see what I'm saying? So we damn near got a whole nother generation lost. We are way too far behind the 8 ball to be doing all this fuck shit still, y'all. We got a lot of stuff to do, and we can't be so self-deprecating. You see what I'm saying? Like, she doing this to herself. Nobody made her fuck with this white man. But see, the thing is, though, we got this society of black folks who think white ice is colder. See, we got a lot of these self-hating Negroes who don't want your kid to have nappy hair. See, you looking at your hair and you looking at your African attributes as something negative. Don't you know that's where everything come from? Don't you know that's who they want to be like? You see what I'm saying? Don't you see? We don't know who we are, but these white motherfuckers know who we are. We don't value our melanin, but that shit is showing up on the goddamn stock market. You see what I'm saying? So we need to be prideful in who we are, family. If you raise your children to be prideful in who they are, prideful of their skin color, prideful of their hair texture, you won't get shit like this. This is sad. This is this woman's fault. Yeah, he a white supremacist piece of shit, but this is this woman's fault for allowing a man like this in her circumference, right? And good he got fired. Good he resigned. And he's in Arkansas, the Arkansas Deltas. I'm not sure where that is in Arkansas or whatever. But there was a lawyer who came out who's defending the sister and talking about the situation. He was hired by the FBI. His name is Ferranda, this is the attorney's name, Ferranda Bratsfield. He was hired by the FBI to go into that police force to investigate racist behavior. And he's saying that what the white man said is just a small microcosm of how the whole city get down. You know what I mean? Of how the whole city get down. But as a black woman, you know that. She knew the kind of white dude she was fucking with. Like, people show us who they are. We just gotta believe them. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is constantly showing you who they are, showing you what they really fuck with, showing you what they really believe in. It's just up to you to believe them. You see what I'm saying? So let this be an example to all my sisters out there. Brothers too. If you want to mess with an Asian woman, if you want to mess with a Mexican woman, if you want to mess with a white woman, a Hindu woman, whatever nationality, whatever race that they may be, that's fine. But love your people first. See, this is why a lot of people in our race feel like you can't be with nobody white. See, I'm not of that belief system. I think you can be with somebody of another race. I just am hopeful that you are still prideful in who you are. And if you realize this person you're in a relationship with is racist or means your race no good, that you wash your hands with their motherfucking ass. Hopefully your allegiance is more to us than your sexual appetite or your willingness to be in a relationship with this person. You see what I'm saying? So here's a problem. This is again, sometimes I point out small problems that can be way bigger issues if we let them fester. Like how we feel about each other is important, y'all. How we feel about ourselves is important. Like I can't ask you to love me. I can't ask you to care about me. I can't ask you to care about the whole black community, the whole melanated community. I can't ask you to do that if you don't even love yourself. You see what I'm saying? And the propaganda that's been fed to us, the information that we've been given in school about us and our history, all of it is negative. All of it is negative. That's why you got to do your due diligence yourself and start unpacking all of this unhealthy, negative rhetoric that's been fed to us throughout all these years we've been here. Because if you're not careful, you're going to end up like this sister. And her name is Desiree Middlebrooks. So Desiree Middlebrooks, and again, he's calling her a nigger lover, right? Ain't that what they hit you with, right? When you white or you black and you show that you like somebody black, right? So this type of racism is seeped deep into our society, and we can't do nothing about how they feel. We can't. Let them fuck them. They want to feel like that, fuck them. But we can control how we feel. We can control how we respond to it. See, and last week, on my show, I was talking a little bit about Christianity and about how that's confusing our people, about how that's fucking us up. Now, understand what Christianity is doing to people outside of our community, right? Because when he was in court, do you know what he hit the judge with? And I quote, "I'm a Christian man who reads my Bible every day," right? So check it out. Any person who means my race no goddamn well, any white supremacist who reading out of that book and this is what you coming up with, that we niggers, because to my understanding, in the Bible, black people aren't fared as well. Like how we're represented in the Bible, how we're talked about in the Bible, there's a lot of shit in there that was used against us during slavery times. There's a lot of shit in there that's still used against us today. There's a lot of KKK members and people who were racist who use the Bible to kind of justify how they feel about us. That's why it's difficult for me to fuck with it. You see what I'm saying? So he's saying he a Christian man who read the Bible every day. What Bible you reading? What book you reading? Any book he reading out of where he can come up with this kind of shit, I don't want to have no parts of that. You feel what I'm saying? So yes, he should have lost his job. Yes, he should have lost his job. It's important that we remain prideful in who we are. And again, I just pray for that baby. Like I'm hella upset about it because of this goddamn baby who got to deal with a goddamn white supremacist as her father. Like, what are we thinking, black folks? You see what I'm saying? So hopefully this sister wakes up. Hopefully this incident and other incidents like this make this sister say, you know what? Maybe I need to go back to fucking with black men. Or if I'm gonna mess with somebody white, if I'm gonna mess with somebody outside of my race, let me take the time to do the due diligence about my history so I can begin to love myself so I won't let nobody fuck me over like that. You see what I'm saying? So, man, unfortunate shit that would be going on in our country, family. God damn. So this Todd Wright motherfucker, hopefully he loses his job or he resigned. Hopefully he don't get picked up by no other police departments. You see what I'm saying? He need to be put on blast so we can know in our community who to stay away from. Because that's what it's about, family. We can't control how some of these racist motherfuckers think, but we can control what we do. We can control who we involve ourselves with. We can control who we call friend. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us got white associates and Caucasian people who come around us and you don't even know how they really feel about you. You know what I mean? That's why I don't today have any white friends per se. But if I had a white friend, a white person that I'm going to have in my house or have around me a lot, we got to have a deep conversation about race. I need to know exactly how you feel about people who look like me. See? Because again, the cognitive dissonance. They're able to say, you're a good one, but I don't like them other ones. You see what I'm saying? They're able to compartmentalize their hate for us, and I'm not going for that shit. If you hate a nigga from the hood, you hate me too. We're all the same. See, I don't differentiate myself because of the status I've been able to uphold in society or something good I've been able to do in society or the fact that I'm not a street dude, right? None of that matters. When we get pulled over, when we get into a situation with some white supremacists, we all black. The people who run this country, they not separating Oprah and Jay-Z from the nigga in the hood. No, we all one big nigga to them. You feel me? So, fuck Todd Wright. Hopefully he doesn't get hired again. Hopefully this sister Desiree realizes she black and it's a war against your black ass. You need to start loving your people. You know what I mean? Now, last news story for today. This is something that I want to talk about that I thought was interesting, right? So most of us are aware of the famed coach John Thompson from Georgetown. He was a coach at Georgetown for several years, 20-something, 30 years, I think. Throughout his time at Georgetown, he was able to positively affect the lives of a lot of black men, right? Allen Iverson, Dikembe Mutombo, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, and a host of others were men who he was a man who actually stepped up to help them, right? Whether it be a mentor or just the coach, but I take my hat off to him because he went a step beyond just being a coach. Like, he was a mentor to him. He taught him a lot of things. He had their back in the face of adversity, in the face of different types of racism. And the biggest thing I thought about when I seen this story, a couple things. And this is kind of leading into my conversation about baby mama, baby daddy ideology and all that shit, right? In our community, a lot of times we'll have, and this is not all, but a lot of times we'll have young men who don't have male role models, right? Who don't have a father, who don't have an uncle or somebody living in their home that can actually give them game and give them positive attributes when it comes to manhood. So what happens is, when we don't have that in our home, when we don't have that in our circumference, then we rely on a coach or we rely on a mentor or something like that, right? Excuse me. And my whole thing is, yes, we need mentors in our community. Like what John Thompson was able to do with these young men. Like, I remember seeing Allen Iverson, like, he loved that dude. Like, crying about him. Like, Allen Iverson is my favorite player of all time, by the way. I seen him crying when talking about what this dude did for him, right? So a part of me says, when I see that, as a melanated man in this society, I say, okay, we need more men like that. Right? We need to make sure that we're going back to our communities. You ain't got to be a coach. If you coaching and you good at coaching, yeah, but it's important that we go back to our communities so we can have a positive impact on the young men there that don't got nobody. You know how many young dudes in the hoods that we grew up in, a lot of us grew up in, where they don't got no guidance, where the dad not there for whatever reason. So we need mentors, right? But also, what I was thinking, and as men, because I always give the disclaimer, I'm aware of how systematic racism works. I'm aware of how the systematic injustices with the prison industrial complex, with crack being thrown in our hood, there's a lot of elements. When the welfare system was introduced and the man couldn't live in the home, there's a lot of systematic elements that have put the black man at odds with the black woman. So I'm aware of that, and that's something that we need to be aware of and we need to talk about. But at the end of the day, we got to step up as men, man. We got to step up as men. Our kids shouldn't be relying on a coach for the tutelage that we should be providing, right? And again, we cannot be providing this for whatever reason. You could not have been ready to be a father. You could be on drugs. You could be in jail. You could be in the system. All that can be a factor. But at the end of the day, it's 2020, family. It's 2020. We need to begin figuring out a way that we relate with each other the right way. Like, we're laying down with the right woman. We're laying down at a time when it's time to have a baby. We're doing it when we're ready. We're not allowing our children just to be accidents of birth like it happens so often in our community. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times we have kids, and then after that, decide what kind of life we want to have for them. After that, decide we want to have a solid relationship with the other person. That's ass backwards, y'all. That's ass backwards. So I say rest in peace to the brother John Thompson. He was an integral part of our community, whether people want to say it that way or not, because the brother spoke up for black folks too. Like he was unapologetically black and knew that some of the kids he was taking in had problems, but he didn't let the white media or other white coaches sway his opinion on what he knew he can do for these kids. So that's commendable, because we got a lot of coaches, and we need to be wary of this, because we're lucky we have men like him out there, because we have a lot of coaches that take advantage of a single mom. They see it's a mom by herself and she don't really got a dude around. She ain't got a man. There's no male energy around, so they can put the kid into all kind of deals or do all kind of shit to the kid that's not going to be beneficial for him, but it's going to be beneficial for these universities. We need to understand how these universities treat our children when they realize they're not going to be of use to them no more, or how they treat our children when they realize they're going to be a star athlete, so they get to kissing their ass and presenting them with all these opportunities that if a man was around, they would be more respectful of how they present what they're presenting. You feel me? So my whole point is, as men, we need to step up. As men, we need to step up. If you a man and you got kids, you need to make it a point to be in your kid's life regardless. You see what I'm saying? I've been in a lot of situations as a parent, but at the end of the day, I know for sure, me being a positive man contributing to society, moving in the right direction while taking my kids along for the ride, while teaching my kids different things, being there for them, being a positive male influence, because let's not get it fucked up. There are some men who are so toxic. There are certain men who are so mentally off balance that they won't be no good to a kid. See, because we always want to say, if you're a father, be around your kid, be around your kid, be around your kid. Yes, that should definitely happen. But what if he ain't shit? What if his mentality is going to be more of a negative effect on the kid than a positive effect? Then we got to take that into account too. See? So we can't just create these blanket statements about what should be. Sorry, y'all, my nose keep on itching and shit. We can't just create these blanket statements about what should happen without looking at the context and the character of the person. But generally speaking, yes, we need to be there. It's the whole point of me creating Melanated Fathers of America family, is figuring out ways to teach young fathers, unassuming fathers, that, hey, your presence in your child's life means the world to them. Yes, money is important. Yes, resources is important. Yes, being with the mother is important. But most important is a healthy relationship with your child. Knowing that you're there for them. Your child knowing that they can call you if they need something. If you making sure you talk to them about shit. Make sure you keep them around you. Make sure you try to bring them to your house. You see what I'm saying? All of these things are important, because to me, if you have a coach like John Thompson, and then you have a strong father too, they come together, that's going to make the kid even more unstoppable. You see what I'm saying? That's going to put the kid even in a more advantageous situation where they can be successful. So yes, we need mentors in our community, and I'm happy we had men like John Thompson who took these little black boys from these fucked up environments and gave them a way out, gave them a way to provide for their family. That's beautiful. But at the end of the day, a coach shouldn't have to step in. A coach shouldn't have to step in. A coach should be in addition to what you actually doing in your house with your kid. Coaching's information and their tutelage should be an extension of what you've already provided for your child. You know what I mean? So dealing with corona and all of these diseases that could be man-made, could be not, dealing with all of the injustices that black people, that melanated people have to deal with at the hands of this society, dealing with how hard life is in general, we gotta be more prideful in stepping up as men. We gotta be more prideful in stepping up for our people. You see what I'm saying? And that's your children, but that's all of us. So like I was saying last week, a very revolutionary act, family, is just being there for your goddamn kid. You want to be a revolutionary, but you don't want to go out and march. You don't want to go to meetings and read different books about it and be a part of the movement in that way. Fine. Be the best father you can possibly be. And then you got to know when you're not. You got to know when you're not doing things the right way. You could be trying your hardest, but just doing it the wrong way, which I've been there. You see what I'm saying? So you got to know how to scrap that shit. Like, all right, what I've been doing ain't working. Let me try a different way. Let me try a different way to communicate, right? Read some books about it. Like, do some research about it. Talk to some people about it. Because some of us got to understand we operating from a mind state of some of us not having fathers. So if you didn't have a father in your life, how do you be one? Really? If you was raised by a woman, all you seen was a woman conducting business, a woman being emotional, a woman being upset, a woman disciplining you. So how are you then supposed to turn around and discipline the kid like a man? You see what I'm saying? So we got to be honest about that, family. So I rest in peace to the brother John Thompson. We need more men like him. But as fathers, we got to step up. Feel me? So that leads me into the topic of the day, right? That leads me into the topic of the day. And I'm talking to myself now, too. I'm a little more evolved, and I've come a long way, but these are my beginnings as well, right? So don't ever get it fucked up and think I'm preaching at my brothers and talking down to my brothers. No, I'm talking at you eye to eye, family. You feel me? So in our society right now, not all, but a lot of black men are extremely comfortable with this baby mama shit. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Because if you pick a woman that you want to be in a relationship with, you guys grind it out, get to know each other, spend a lot of time getting to know each other, decide you want to have a future together, and then in doing that, you decide you want to have a baby, you have the baby, and then for whatever reason it does not work. That is America, family. Relationships don't work sometimes. Like, that's real shit. Relationships don't work sometimes. You got to move on. Now you got to co-parent. Now you got to have two households involved. You got to figure out the best way to move forward for the kid. This happens all day in America. Don't matter what race you is, right? But I'm talking to my melanated family right now. This happens to all of us. However, what we need to stop doing, like on some real shit, what needs to stop is us just doing this shit frivolously. Us not even thinking about our future. Us having sex with somebody a few times or fucking with somebody for a little while and realize, boom, it's time to have a baby. Or boom, she pregnant, let's have it. Now, I'm not a big advocate of abortion per se. Meaning, and I've evolved to this point, abortion shouldn't be used as a form of birth control. Very true. However, and this is just my opinion, I don't give a fuck who don't like it. It's a lot of young people I see having babies. When I was young, me too, I can put myself in that group, that was absolutely not ready to have a child and still wasn't ready when the child came. So what happens is you're raising a kid with this immature ass mentality. What kind of effect is that going to have on a child? If mentally you're not ready, financially you're not ready, you and the little girl not in a relationship, y'all always fighting, gotta bring your mama in it. Now your mama's the daycare provider. You always gotta bring the kid to your mama house. You probably still live with your mama. Like, all of this dysfunctional ass shit shouldn't be going on. It's hard enough just to raise a kid with another person in general. But why the fuck are we making it so hard on each other? And then I gotta call my rappers, some of my black entertainers to the table. You niggas need to be given the full game. Yes, you may be rich. You got 4, 5, 6 baby mamas. You rich. You can take care of all the kids financially. You can bring all the kids to your house if you want to. But how fucked up is that for a kid? Have you ever thought about that? That a kid has to go to this house, then come back to this house? No kid likes doing that, family. Newsflash. No kid likes doing that, even if you're rich. Because what if you a dude that have amassed a certain amount of money or influence, right? And your house is nice as shit, right? Let's say your house is hella nice, right? Now your son got to go back to his mama house. What if she got an apartment, right? Now he looking at her all fucked up. Like it's something wrong with her life, when in actuality, y'all should have been doing this shit together to begin with. I see too many people who run to just having kids and don't even think about the long-term effects that that's going to have on a child. What about these goddamn kids, man? What about these kids? We're just having kids all frivolously. Now we having kids before we even get a career that's solid or a business that's solid. You see what I'm saying? So now we're struggling. Now we're living day to day, struggling, worried about how we gonna get food, worried about how we gonna get milk, living with somebody. You see what I'm saying? This is no good, family. So my point to everybody out there, if you haven't had a child yet, if you're about to have a child, if you're in a relationship where you're thinking about having a child, if you got a young person who hasn't started having sex yet, or 16, 17 about to start having sex, talk to them. We in our community need to understand how important the relating process is. How important the foundation that we lay, the foundation that we set up, how important that is. That has to be the primary goal. No, I'm not going to have a baby right now. I'm not. Young men, you got to protect your seed, family. You got to protect your seed, family. You got to put a condom on. You got to put a condom on. Or just wait. You see what I'm saying? Like on some real shit, we don't need more kids in this world who don't have parents, who don't have solid parents, who don't have a solid foundation, who don't have resources. How fair is that? Think about that, family. How fair is that to a young person? To bring them in this world and you not prepared at all. But what, they cute? I'm tired of that shit. Yeah, they cute. Yeah, they smell good at this age. What about when they 13, 14 and they need something? What about when it's time to go to college and you ain't got the money for it? See what I'm saying? What about when it's time to buy a car and you ain't got the money for it? You see what I'm saying? What about when it's time for them to have structure in their household, but you want to turn up and kick it because you had them at such an early age that you didn't have a chance to turn up and kick it? Like a child turns your life upside down. There's no fucking denying that, right? If you're doing it right, if you care and you love your kid, your child's going to turn your life upside down. And now it's going to be about the kid. Yeah, you can look into still going to school, you can look into still starting your business, but you just made it 10 times harder, like on some real shit, because you got to focus on your kid. You got to focus on your kid's well-being. You got to focus on making sure they're doing right in school. You got to make sure they got manners. You got to make sure that they're disciplined. And all of these things are difficult enough already to employ without including the fact that you don't know who you are yet. Without including the fact that you never even had any good intentions by the mother of this child. You see what I'm saying? That's horrible energy that you putting in the air, family, when you're not even creating this baby out of love. You're creating this baby out of lust. Or for some women, creating this baby out of spite. You see what I'm saying? We need to be honest about how we relate to each other. And I'm here to tell any melanated man listening to me, if you got hella baby mamas, you went about that shit the wrong way, family. Now, I'm not saying you can't be a good father still. I'm not saying you can't incorporate your kids into each other's lives and make the best out of this dysfunctional ass situation that you created. But if you created a situation with a woman that you don't love and off the bat, y'all don't live together, the kids in another household, that's dysfunctional. That's dysfunctional. We got to call that shit exactly what it is. That's a dysfunctional behavior that plays into the hands of the people in this country who don't mean us no well. So when we're talking about who don't mean us well, so when we're talking about racism, white supremacy, social injustice, whatever fucking name you want to call it, just know you're participating if you have your families the wrong way. If you set up the structure of your family the wrong way, there is a fucking right and wrong way. I'm tired of people telling me that you can just have kids however you want to have it, as long as you provide money, as long as you're there. No. What about the child, family? No kid wants to go from one house to the next. No kid wants to have 2 houses. No kid wants to hear mommy and daddy bickering at each other because they can't get along. Because they never even planned on being together this long. They never even planned on fucking talking to each other this long. Now y'all 5-6 years in it. This was supposed to be a motherfucker you had sex with for a couple times and that was it. You see what I'm saying? We need to begin to learn the process. Okay, what kind of person? This is why it's so important for you to know who you are. This is why it's so important for you to do the soul searching and read books and come to a realization of who you are as a person so you can know what you're looking for. You see what I'm saying? All too often, we figure out who we are and who we want to be later on in life, but the damage has been done already. You already got a kid that's a teenager that's suffering from all these dysfunctions that was never really addressed, and because of your ego, because of the kind of person you are, you haven't even told your kid sorry. You haven't even realized that maybe some of the negative shit I see my kid doing is based on the fact that me and his dad, or me and his mom, didn't see eye to eye for hella years. We brought all these dysfunctions and negative ways of thinking into the child's psyche. Now they the same kind of person. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't like racism, if you don't like what happens to our community, if you don't like police brutality, again, I'm not talking to people outside of our community. We understand these people don't mean us no good. I understand that. I get that concept. But I'm talking to my people. I'm talking to y'all. We have a say-so in this. And I'm getting so tired of seeing these young people, and I'm talking to the young person, and this is a young person who is not mature. This is a young person who is not an adult and got a baby already. Just because your sexual organs are ready to reproduce, don't mean you should have a goddamn kid. You know what I mean? Just because you feel like you're grown, don't mean you're grown. You know what I mean? All these young motherfuckers having kids and you still living with your mama, you still living with your daddy. You ain't even begin paying bills yet. You ain't even begin paying bills yet, but you got a baby? Like, how backwards is that? You know what I mean? This welfare system that our people allowed to infiltrate our community that way. Now we got a lot of young women feeling like I can have a baby and I can just get on welfare. That's my cash cow right there. That's the money I'm gonna need to raise the kid. You see what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, welfare should be done. There should be no welfare in America. You should be able to get welfare for no more than like 6 months. They should put your ass on like a 3 to 6 month little lease where for 3 to 6 months you can get this money. We're going to help you find a job. After that, get on your own, be a goddamn adult. Nobody told you to have this goddamn baby. You see what I'm saying? Everybody viewing little babies as this cute thing and baby. Look, family, I'm of the understanding that in totality, in general terms, the new life of a person is a blessing. That's like in general terms, right? But when we get down to the details, you could be fucking this blessing up. You could be ruining, if you want to go there, you could be ruining this blessing that God gave you, right? Meaning by not being prepared, by not having your shit in order, by not bringing your kid into a loving environment. A kid shouldn't be born and go live with the girl and her mama. The kid shouldn't be born and go live with the girl in her apartment by herself. You see what I'm saying? The faltering of your relationship, the decline of your relationship, in my opinion, that shit should happen sometime down the line. If that shit is immediate, then y'all did something wrong. Y'all did something wrong. And that's something negative you're doing to our culture as a whole. Right? Like, people outside of our community talk about single parent homes and all this shit. Now, they are using that shit for political leverage. They're using that shit to hide their white supremacy. They're using that shit to hide the hate they got for our culture. So I don't listen to them. Like, even when they say some shit that may have some truth to it, I'm not listening to them because that shit not coming from love. This is coming from love, family. I love my people. I love all y'all. You see what I'm saying? But we got to do better. We got to practice doing better, right? And it starts with you. It starts with you. Everybody want to vote. Everybody want to look outside of themselves for different shit. Everybody want to pray. Everybody want to pray to some Jesus. Everybody want to look outside of themselves. When most of the shit you need is right inside of you, family. Most of the shit you need is right inside of you. You see what I'm saying? So we need to do some soul searching to figure out who we are as people. Then when it's time to relate to another person, then when it's time to be in a relationship with another person, we're a little more suited to be in that relationship. We're a little more suited to give them what they need. As men, we should be providers on several levels, not just financially, but spiritually, physically, emotionally. We should be able to handle all these realms when it comes to our children and the woman that we chose, right? Because to me, if you a dude and you dealing with hella baby mama drama, and I didn't always think this way, if you dealing with hella baby mama drama, that shit is on you. I put it on you primarily because you chose that woman, right? Women, for the most part, ain't getting at us. We're initiating the contact with a woman. We are the one deciding the women that we want to be in a relationship with. We talking to women. We're courting women, right? So you courting a woman, what are you looking at? Is it just the fat ass and the titties? Right? Is it just the fucking sexual organs? Or are you actually looking at the character of a person? Are you actually looking at how she handles problems? How she deal with her parents? How she deal with her family members? Does she work? Is she a college student? Is she smart? Does she like to read? Like, we got to take the time to get to know motherfuckers before we decide we want to start a family with them. Right? So as a man, as a man, it's on you. You decide who to come in. Like, to be graphic, you decide who you're gonna have sex with. You see what I'm saying? You make these decisions, family. So once you know better, you gotta do better. So I say, if you're a man like me who may have in his earlier days of living not respected women, conducted himself in a way that wasn't conducive to helping the entire community, it ain't too late for you, family. It ain't too late for you, family. What you can do now is begin teaching your son the right way. Begin teaching your nephew, your cousin, any young man around you on the importance of starting your family the right way. You see what I'm saying? Because look, I have older kids that are 22 years old that have children. And like I said, their kids are a blessing. But am I going to ignore the fact that they're not mature yet? Am I going to ignore the fact that they're not stable yet? Am I going to ignore the fact that mentally they're not as mature as you should be to bring a child in the world? I'm not going to back down from that fact, regardless of who you are. Because that's something I went through. I'm watching a lot of people around me go through that. And we need to do better, family. We need to figure out a way to kind of start circumventing a lot of this shit so our community doesn't suffer. It's bad enough that we have systematic forces that at every turn is trying to fuck us up. You see what I'm saying? Whether it be from the penitentiary system, whether it be from the school system, whether it be from corporate America where you get treated like shit sometimes, right? We already have an enemy. We already have a fraction of society that does not mean us any good. We already got that. So we don't need to be destructive to each other as well. You see what I'm saying? And mating with a woman that you know you don't have her best interest at heart. You don't want to be in a relationship with her, but you have sex with her unprotected. That is irresponsible, family. And that's detrimental to all of us in the long run, right? Because you had that little boy, now you ripping and running, ain't realized you want to be a man yet. You're not settling down with the woman. You living here, living there, deciding you want to be a Rolling Stone. Well, what happens to the little dude when he goes out into to the world, right? Now we got him playing the street game. Now we got him treating women like shit. Now we got him deciding he want to be a pimp because of all of this dysfunction he's seen as a kid, from the hurt he's experiencing from not having his father around, right? Kids sometimes don't express that shit directly, but you don't think they upset by not having a father in the home? You don't think they upset by not having a close relationship with one of their parents, or not being able to talk to their parents, or not ever seeing their parents come together and do something positive? Think about the effect. I've thought about that when it comes to myself and women that I have kids with. Like my sons, I gotta make sure I talk to them and apologize to them, because there was a time where they didn't even see me and their mothers talk to each other respectfully. Didn't even see us make a decision respectfully. So how the fuck do we expect them to go out into the world and be respectful to authority, be respectful to women, be respectful to teachers, when we ain't even showed them how we can be respectful to each other? You see what I'm saying? So this is a deep topic that we all need to think about. And to my brothers and sisters who have did it the right way, I salute you. I know men who waited to their mid-20s to have kids. Now they got 1 or 2 kids, 3 kids maybe, all with one woman, living in the right household now, or living in one household. Now that's not to say he's perfect. That's not to say he not doing some bullshit or some bullshit is going on. I'm not saying any of that, but the setup was right. You know what I mean? I'm going to admit that. The setup was right. Setting things up that way is the way that it's supposed to be. I don't care what nobody say. That's how it's supposed to be. If you didn't do it that way, you went about it the wrong way. You can still make corrections, but you went about it the wrong way. You feel me? So that's my message today for the family, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning into another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. Please subscribe to the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button to the video. If you're watching the clips that I put up on Facebook, please hit the link at the top. Please hit the link at the top of this that shows how you can subscribe, how you can watch the full show. You feel me? This has been another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. Follow me on my Instagram page, which is Melanated Fathers 100. That's at Melanated Fathers 100. This show airs every Saturday at 6 p.m. Every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I come to the family with different messages just like I did today. Thank y'all for tuning into the show, man. I'm out.